this week's installment of The Coach and The Disconnector while Carrie's over there freezing while laughing as per usual because you know we can't come on here with no straight face. Carrie, stop playing. Unmute yourself.
I was like, can you see me? He said I was freezing.
You was freezing for a moment, but you're back with us now.
I'm back.
Well, I know it's my side of things. It's going boom shakalaka outside right now. I'm like, F that. It's coaching the disconnection time.
That's what we had at work yesterday. We had to like evacuate and go into the halls and take shelter for like 30 minutes. And it was so hot. Yeah.
Good gracious.
We got the storm. I guess it's moved on.
Well, blessings on blessings that nobody was injured or hurt yesterday during that particular event. I'm very grateful for that.
Same.
So, you know what's up, Carrie? How you feeling? How's your week going, man?
My week is going exactly as the way this week is supposed to go. Yep, this week has gone exactly the way it was supposed to go. You know? Yeah, and here we are, another fabulous Thursday with the Coach and the Disconnector. How was your week?
My week has been fabulous. I literally only got like 3 or 4 hours of sleep today. I'm just like, bring it on. I'm so excited about what? I'm excited about our guests, but two, I'm excited because I've taken time this week to like reflect and truly like decide what I want to do because I feel like I'm going in too many directions at once. You know, when you have so many options before you, you're like, which way do I go, George? Which way do I go?
Do I ever? Do I ever?
That's the kind of moment in time that I'm having this week. Yeah. Hey, Sister Queen Tidra. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Hey,
y'all, if y'all missed Tidra on Fem Talk on Tuesday, you need to go back and watch that episode. She dropped so many gems, I feel like I need to cash app her right now.
Go ahead. She ain't going to be mad at that.
No, not even a little bit. But y'all, as you saw during the beginning of the show, was the TMC sixfiguregroup.com. The significance of this is this. The young lady that runs that group knows what she's doing as far as business credit, business funding, business structure. If you're out here struggling in business, you need to get your rear end into this group. It's free, and the only thing you need to do is agree to the group rules in order to be let in. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because one of the decisions that I made this week was to cut a lot of things short. So the only places you're going to be able to find me on social media, aside from our shows, Fem Talk and the Coach and the Disconnector, is in that group and in my Vibely community. The Vibely community link I'll be dropping in the comments in a little bit. And y'all just saw the link for the Scale to Six Figure Facebook group. It's a private group, so go ahead and use TMC6, the number 6, figuregroup.com to get over there and participate. Because another thing that I'm doing, I partnered with this young lady. Her name is Jay Nicole, the Money Coach. And I'm going to actually be doing mindset coaching, free 30-minute sessions every week for the next few months in that group. And the only way to access that is to join that group. So I'm not trying to preach or anything like that. I'm just letting you know that if you love and like me the way that I love and like me, that's where y'all can find me for the time being, because I got certain things that I'm trying to line up so I can knock them down so I can go ahead and be free full time to do what I love all the time without having to charge people out the nose to support my lifestyle. I don't like, I don't particularly care for that kind of stuff. It works for some people. It doesn't work for me. Coach Kevin.
I'm in the house. It's like there's some distractions. I'm trying to stay focused, okay? I'm doing my best to stay focused over here. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's just, you know.
So, guys, with that being said, Coach Carrie has some amazing things coming down the pipe, too, and I can't wait. And as they get closer to being complete and ready, we will definitely be keeping you guys in the loop. Coach Carrie, if I haven't told you lately, I love you and thank you for all the wonderful things that you bring into my life as a person, as a sister queen, as a fellow coach. And yeah, so guys, we are talking about choices tonight. And we have a special, amazing, wonderful, fantastic guest in the background by the name of Prynce Michael. He is a published author. He is a speaker. He is a flight attendant. He is just an all-around badass with the best smile and, 32 double D's, because that's just what he says. And I go with that because if he believes it, I do too, okay? So guys, without further ado, I'm going to take down this here overlay of ours. And a little bit later, probably about another 20 minutes or so, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and do this segment because, oh my God, I done had some epiphanies this week. Holy crap. But
nice. Epiphanies always good.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and knock out this countdown and bring in the one, the only Prynce Michael. What's going on?
Please, hold your applause. Thank you. Please hold the applause. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank my mom and dad first.
This right here is why.
And this is why we hot.
That part.
I'm just saying.
I love it. So, Prynce, welcome to the show, and thank you for deciding to share some time with us this fine, wonderful, rainy, stormy, fantastic evening.
Of course. Man, honestly, I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be here because we were chopping it up backstage, y'all. Carrie got my side hurting.
BS, y'all. Prynce had us laughing so hard, I almost forgot to start the show on time.
So honestly, I'm just grateful to be here because it's always amazing when you can just be amongst friends and just have a conversation, and then the conversation is just going to enrich so many people's lives. So I'm just grateful to be here.
Absolutely. That's good stuff. Good evening to you too, Brandy.
I didn't type that.
Because I'm looking down here and I can see the cars.
I know you didn't in the private chat. I told her.
I forgot, y'all. Carrie got the power now, y'all. Carrie got the power.
I said, you should never show me this. I just saw the controls, and anyone who's used StreamYard, there's a set of things that you can do that your guests can't do. Mm-hmm. Well, Brandy, she's the wizard of going live and functions and all that stuff. So I just, it was just always her. But now I can see the controls because she's added me to her team, and I'm like typing stuff in. I'm like, they're gonna think it's Brandy.
It is Brandy. See, look, no hands.
You're a technopath.
So, yeah, I was like, so this is gonna be fun.
That part.
Yeah, Angel, I'm acting up.
Is there any other way to be? I promise there is.
Everybody else acting up. Everybody else acting up. And this is my life, so I'm going to act up the way I want to act up.
Carrie, I give you permission, girl. Act up as much as you want, girl.
Thank you. And you saw it right here. This is just notarized. I'm about to act up.
Act a fool.
Oh, yeah.
So, guys, we're going to talk about choices tonight and the importance of choices and understanding that we have them. We just have to choose to acknowledge that we have them. Choices have led us into things. Choices have led us out of things. Choices has helped us avoid things. So, Prynce Michael, what's your input on choices? What do you think in the last 5 years some of your most important choices have been?
Well, I will definitely say my biggest choice. No, let me stop. No.
The best choice was to use that voice just then. No.
You have no idea how much that hurt my throat trying to make my voice deep. Anyway, I would definitely say probably one of the biggest choices that I probably had to make was realizing that I had a choice. Period. realizing that I had to make a shift in my mindset, because a lot of times when we look at choices and things like that, or when we look at our lives, we don't even think that certain things are a choice of ours. We oftentimes will, blame our circumstances on what's going on, and, oh, well, that happened because of this. Actually, you chose for that to happen. Your mindset is what attracted that to happen. It's kind of like when I remember when I got evicted from my very first apartment. I'm a homeowner now, y'all. So yeah.
Yeah.
When I got evicted from my first apartment, I was in college, and this is many years ago, back when I was in college. I'm still 25, but whatever. So this happened back when I was in college. And I remember going through this whole thing, and I blamed it on the fact that, well, my hours got cut at CVS in the pharmacy. I was only working 8 hours a week. My mom and dad, they weren't giving me any money. Oh, well, I blamed it on everybody else. When in actuality, all of that was my fault. Didn't nobody tell me to move off campus. Didn't nobody tell me every Friday when I got paid to be spending all my money. Then CVS decided to do something where you get paid every 2 weeks. Why they did that? Because now that means I got to wait another 7 days to get my money. So, so it was just like choice after choice after choice that I realized, all of this is my fault. I'm the one that can change all of this. If I just look at this stuff differently, if I just change the way that I look at things, everything else will change. So I had to understand that was like my initial reaction to choices. That was my first introduction of saying, hey, I have the choice. I have control over this. And then powering through when I became homeless, I realized that was also a choice. But I had two choices. I could either sit there and complain that I was living in the car, or I could say, you know what, hey, I'm better than this. I know that I deserve more. I know that there is greater that I'm supposed to get to, and I can live in where I need it to be. Because a lot of times when we look at our circumstances, we live in the choice of at that time. We live in the choice of the moment. We don't look at ourselves as we need to, which is where we're going to be. We look at ourselves where we are, and we make choices based on where we are, as opposed to where our mind should be at. So that's just like right now, there's a really big thing in the US. I don't know if it's all around the world. I'm just using the US because that's where we are. Where people say, I identify as. And I'm pretty sure you guys know where I'm going with this. So a lot of times, because right now we have someone, as you guys stated, I'm a flight attendant. We have someone that works for the company that I fly for, and they were born gender-wise as a male. However, he identifies as non-binary. Now, honey, I don't understand all of this stuff. I just know male and female, and I'm not ashamed to say that I really don't understand all of that. I don't know what non-binary is and all of this other stuff. I don't know what all that is. However, he identifies as that. And I started thinking, and I said, you know what? More people need to be like this man. He identifies as something. And I said, you know what? But more people need to see themselves and say, you know what? I identify as a millionaire. I identify as a game changer. I identify as a person that's coming through to break the chains of the curses and chains that are in my family. I identify as that person. And I think that, let me tell you, I'm just telling you, honey, because when I started really digging deep into that, I was like, oh my gosh, I identify as a billionaire. I identify as the person that's going to change the trajectory of my family's life. And I started saying that, and I internalized that. So I started to understand that all of the choices that I make, they not only impact me, but they impact other people as well. Because I want to make sure that my nieces and nephews, not my brothers and my sister, I want to make sure my nieces and nephews, because I don't have kids, are able to look and go, wow, because uncle did this, now I'm able to have the choice to do this. So
that part.
I love that.
And it's funny that you say that, because that's exactly in alignment with the reason why I'm driven the way that I am. To not only become financially free, but so financially free to the point that when my children come up, aside from knowing how to maintain what we build for them and continue it growing, they'll be able to travel the world and help as many people as they want to help throughout the course of their lives, never worrying about how the hell am I going to pay these bills. Because I want to teach them what we learning in our generation about money, how things work, and how no matter where you come from, no matter your background, if you got the right set of tools, you can straighten out your finances and live exactly the way that you want to live. You can live all the way up here. You can keep it very bare minimum simple, and as long as your needs are met and you're happy with that, that's fine. Some people want a life of luxury. Some people want a life of simplicity. There is nothing wrong with either one of those. The only thing I say is finance your own foolishness and stay out of my way with it the way you at it.
But when they got a rich relative or a rich mama like Brandy, honey, you don't need to do all that. Just call Brandy.
Now that part, okay.
Just saying.
As they cut off, there's the reason why I go by the disconnected, because there are some things I will not tolerate in my vicinity. You can carry on all you want to over there.
Right.
As soon as you bring that over here, I'm gonna cut it short.
I mean, so let me ask you a question. Do you think that, like, especially like, so since now we're talking about like a different generation of people, because see, I grew up where we had food stamps, but you know, people bougie now with food stamps. You know, when I had food, when I was a kid, we had paper food stamps, okay? Where everybody and their mama knew that you had them. You know, oh, y'all on food stamps?
You pulling them out that book. You pulling them out the book. You know what I'm saying? And don't ask me for none of my hooked cheese either, because the cheese was delicious.
Baby, they made some good macaroni and cheese, don't I tell you that? But now people, they bougie, honey. They got cards and stuff now, baby. You go to the grocery store, it look like you got a credit card or something. You just swipe. I'm like, what? Anyway, so
wait. Quick thing. Did you know that these seafood markets out here accept EVT?
Oh, baby.
You can go buy crab legs. They won't cook them for you, but you can buy them.
Honey, there's a hair store in Riverdale in Georgia that actually accepts food stamps, sweetheart. Yeah. Don't ask me how I know.
I got a question. Now, I can't believe what is the exchange rate for cash?
Oh, it's normally 5,400. That's what somebody told me at the hair store. That's what I heard. I'm not one to gossip. That's just what I heard. I don't know how true it is. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Clutch. I stay at Trader Joe's and Whole Foods.
I'm just saying that's what I heard. That's just what I heard. But let me ask you guys this though. Do you believe, because I looked at I think it was a video off YouTube where it talks about like housing prices and things like that, and how a lot of people don't want to go back to work. Do you believe that when it deals with the choice of money, do you believe that parents actually are teaching their children correctly in this day and age about finances and money and things like that?
80% no. It's Pareto's principle in reverse. I believe 80% of people don't know about finances the way that they should know about finances, and their parents didn't have the tools and resources to teach them. And by the time they figured it out, it's kind of like my parents, right? My parents are more aware of how finances work now, as far as beyond the balancing a checkbook and working and saving. My father, probably about 2 or 3 years ago now, finally invested in his first rental property. And I was fortunate enough to help him go through the process of getting it Section 8 certified so he could actually collect pretty much a guaranteed check. And we found an amazing tenant that her and her children take excellent care of the property. If anything goes sideways, they call immediately, and they're very understanding that my dad is one person, but if there's a major problem, he will do what's necessary to get it fixed and get it fixed quickly. So it's been wonderful that I've been so adamant about learning how to invest, because not everybody can be an actor, a singer, an attorney, a doctor, a lawyer. Well, a lawyer and attorney kind of the same.
You ain't got to name a resume. I'm just saying, you know.
High level careers, right? And Prynce, don't be telling the secret of the flight attendants pay. But anyway, with all those things, like we don't realize that you don't have to be a professional athlete. You don't need to be famous to make a lot of money.
Right.
Anybody can learn how to invest, and that's the thing that we're not taught. But as soon as you learn it, you grab hold of it, and you sit down with it for a little while and just kind of look at it like, and you're gonna take off running if you got any type of 2 cents going on up here. Because as soon as I found out I could get involved with stocks with something as simple as Robinhood, I've been playing with stocks for the last 6-7 years now. Miss Teacher Martin be teaching me a little bit about options here and there, and we be exchanging them coins. And I years ago, and now I'm almost positioned properly to invest in this housing market that's getting ready to flip. Something I would have never thought possible back in 2014 when the car accident led to all of this occurred. I went from not knowing how the hell I was going to get a rental car in 2 days to I can't remember the last time I had to figure out how much money I could spend at the grocery store or not.
Yeah.
There's nothing like going to the grocery store, and it sounds so simple, but not having to stick to your brands and hope that you have any idea how good that feels.
You preaching
that once, you will never go backwards again. And that's another thing I want to bring up. I'm excited to have Prynce on here because his book helps anybody at any level understand these things.
Been there, done that, girl. I remember. Let me tell you, honey. I remember when I was
You get ready to say so crazy. I know you are.
No. So so it's humorous now, but it wasn't humorous then. You know, it's humorous when you can find the humor in it now because you're not at that point. Right. But you know, when you going through, let me tell you something. So let me just be real. You know how people always post and stuff like that. They're like, "Oh, I'm in Jamaica, I'm in Puerto Rico, and you know, I'm in Naples." You live in Miami and you went to Naples for a vacation, anyway. So I just, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Okay. You know, I'm very blessed to be able to, you know, travel and go where I want. But at the time, I remember I was looking on Facebook and I was looking at all of this stuff and looking how people were buying all of these shoes and clothes and, oh, I just got a new car and all of this stuff. And at the time, I had a 95 Ford Crown Victoria. It had 4 mismatched wheels on there. On top of that, I didn't know that tires actually had metal in the inside of them. I found out that it was called tread recently. And stop judging me, judge your mama. And so I found out that it has tread. I never knew what it was. All of my tires had that coming out of it, which means that they were getting ready to pop at any minute. But I was sitting there and I'm like, man, I wish that I had a portion of what they had. I went to this Circle K, and this was like my turnaround point. I went to this Circle K, and they had a soda and hot dog combo. This was in Daytona Beach, Florida. And I walked in and I'm in there and I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, let me hurry up and grab this. But I had my little change bag, and I carry my change bag with me. I had my change bag. I had my debit card. And then I also had my credit card with me. At the time, I only had one credit card. That was Capital One. It was a, what do you call it? A secured card. It only had $300 on there, but the $300, it won $300, honey, because it was basically maxed. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I got enough money if I use all three forms of payments. But let me just pause for a second. $1.60, but I got to use 3 forms of payments in order for me to be able to pay for this. So I got embarrassed. I didn't want someone to see me. So I said, oh, let me just linger around the store like I'm still looking for something. You know how like when you know you ain't looking for nothing else in the store, but you just pretending like you are. You're like, oh, what's this? Child, what do I got these for tampons for? But I'm like, oh, what kind of these? Oh, okay. I'm just in the store, just looking around because I don't want anybody to be like, dang, you got to do all that. I was more concerned with the way that somebody saw me. I was more concerned with being embarrassed than to change my behaviors at that time. So
I love you bringing this up.
So
this segment about to be
This is good.
so I decided that I'm gonna wait, and I'm walking around in the store. All of a sudden, the store just empty out. I go up there, and I had done spent all my stamps. I ain't had no more of them, so I couldn't use that. And plus, I don't know if y'all know or not, but when you have food stamps, I don't know how it is now, but at that time, you could not use food stamps for anything hot. It had to be cold, and because this is hot, you couldn't get it. Fast forward, so I get up to the counter. I'm trying to hurry up and count out all this change. I'm like, oh, well, I got such and such on this card, and then I got such and such on this card. The person the cashier ended up not ringing it the way that they should have. So my card declined because you were trying to charge more than what was on there. You know how them people when you know how them people be like, there's money on there, okay? There's no, can you run it again? There's money on there, okay? I was one of those people because I'm like, I know how much I got on here, okay? No, you entered the wrong amount. You need to go back and run. I was hungry too, not hungry. I was hungry, okay? I was sitting there and I'm like, you're gonna run this card again and you're gonna make sure that it go through. Long story short, I had no idea as I'm having this exchange with the cashier, there was a line now starting to grow up behind me. And you know how when somebody is taking a lot of time and they're sitting there and they're doing like this.
Yeah.
Oh man, that embarrassing feeling started to come back. You started to hear what is taking so long? It's $1.60. You know what? I learned from my work of flying, you never know what a person is going through. Everybody that you meet is going through something. At this particular point, they had no idea that this is all I had in order for me to be able to eat. I was able to buy my food, but as I'm walking out, I can hear and I can hear this. Once again, I was still more concerned with being embarrassed than changing my behaviors. However, once I walked out of there, I was walking back to the house and I was snotty nose crying because I said, I am so much better than this. I deserve so much better than this. Les Brown said that once your mind has been expanded on a thought or idea, it can never go back to being the same. At that point forward, I created a gratitude tree. And I said, every day I'm going to write down something that I'm grateful for. And it can't be the same thing. How can you expect to get more if you're not grateful for what you have? And a lot of times we miss the fact that we have so much to be grateful for, and we always want more. We are greedy by nature, regardless of who you are. We are greedy by nature, which is why you have to be grateful for what you have, because we always want more. We always say, oh, well, I got this house now. Oh, you know what? Well, I want that 5-bedroom house now. You know what? Oh, well, I got this Mercedes Benz. You know what? I want the Range Rover next. It's like we always want more, and we have to learn how to be grateful. So when I learned how to be grateful, more started to come to me. Then more of my mindset began to change. For those people that go and that believe in the Bible, that read, even the Bible, it says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So I had to renew my mind. How do I renew my mind? I started reading different books. There was this book that I read. It was called The Slight Edge. And for those that are in network marketing, y'all know the person who wrote it. We ain't got to go there. He's nicknamed as the Millionaire Maker. I used to call him my uncle when I was in the company. And he wrote this book, and it was a bestseller, New York Times bestseller. And I read this book, and he said that all you have to do is just get 1% better every single day. He said, read 10 pages of a good book every single day. And at the ending of the year, you would be surprised at how many books you've actually read by just reading 10 pages a day. He said, it's not about doing something drastic. It's about doing something very minute and just continuing to make sure that you are just getting better every single day, just 1% better. And that is what I focused on. I no longer focused on, I wanted a new car. I no longer focused on, I wanted to get this house and all of this stuff. I said, you know what? I'm living in my car right now. And I don't think it get no lower than this until guess what? I end up having to sell the car so I can get some money. And I sold my car for $300. That was my very first car. And it broke me to my core. I sold that car for $300. what else was I going to do? It was, I didn't have any money. I didn't have anywhere to go. And I said, you know what? I can figure, I'll just figure it out. I started living on people's floors and I'm just like, honey, some of these people I didn't even know. But what happened is I learned about me in the process of that. And I learned that in order for the obstacles to change, the obstacles did not need to change. I just had to figure out how to get over the obstacles. A lot of people, they pray for God to take away stuff from them, but don't pray for God to take stuff away from you. Pray for a stronger back so that you can bear it. Pray that you can actually renew your mind more so that you can get something new. So, yeah, so my whole thought process was different after going through all that. That's why, honey, nobody can tell me, baby. Oh, let me tell you about struggling, baby. I can tell you a whole lot about it, baby. Let me tell you.
How much time you got? You know, Jim Rome actually says something similar today. He says, "Don't wish life was easier. Wish you were better."
Yes,
like, you just
that part.
Go for it next. Yeah. What's up, Brandon?
That thing that I was telling you, how Miriam was the reason why I learned about personal development.
Mm-hmm.
He is a testament to the said thing, because that's where I was introduced to it on a high level.
Yes.
Now, I bombed in the company as far as network marketing, because network marketing is not my thing. But the introduction to the personal development is what set me free on a very high level, and I haven't even. Honestly, I don't even think I've tapped into 60% of my potential yet.
You haven't. You know what? Let me tell you something, Brandy. When I first met you, I said, "Yeah, we gonna be friends." But I didn't tell her this. I sat there and I said, "She has so much in her that she doesn't even see." Mm-hmm. Carrie has so much in her that she doesn't even see. I have so much in me that I can't even see. It's interesting that people can see in you what you can't see in yourself, which is why you have to be mindful of who you allow around you, because sometimes people want to exploit your gifts because, as they say, your gifts will make room for you. Your talents will make room for you. So you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful. Like, that's just like I stopped chasing my passion. I don't chase my passion no more. I chase my talent.
Naturally.
I chase my talent because my talent.
I love that.
We're going to be having a conversation about this when we get back, y'all. But for now, it's time for a short commercial break, as well as my segment for the evening. And Prynce Michael, unknowingly but in full alignment, has already touched on a little bit. Y'all going to be like, what? We did not even discuss this before we started, y'all. But we will be right back. Woo! What's up, everybody? It's Brandy, the Disconnector, and on today's segment with Piece by Piece with the Disconnector, I want to talk about shush up and listen, damn it. It's simple. We make it harder than it needs to be, and it's actually very simple. We learn more by being quiet and watching how people and things move around us for a while before we react, interact, or choose to participate or not participate in something. The more time you spend just kind of cordial conversation if needed, but just observe things, especially when you're in new situations that you're uncertain about. You can learn everything that you need to know within 20 to 30 minutes about a situation that involves people that you're not quite familiar with. And it's a testament to who you're hanging out with if you're even in a situation that you're uncertain about, because people know that if I introduce them to something, somebody, or some whatever it is that I've been involved with for a while, I've checked the inside and out and so on and so forth. And I have several people in my life now that taught me this, that I've learned to come to trust on that level. And I've also learned how to become accountable, that if I choose to involve myself in a situation and it doesn't turn out the way that I want it to turn out, well, then we fall back to those things called choices, right? I take accountability for not paying attention to certain things that I could have caught sooner. And it was through this experience on multiple occasions that I have been able to identify things faster and thus put myself in a position that I do more than I say. Do more than you say. Everybody doesn't need to know every single move that you're about to make, because when you telegraph what you're going to do, they know what to tear down before you're strong enough to build it up so strong that it can't be shook. We have people that we have grown up with our whole lives that unfortunately are haters. And we can't be the ones be like, I can't believe. Pay attention. Because a hater can be identified before you ever let them close enough to destroy or attempt to destroy. Because when it's yours, it's yours. Can nobody destroy it? Can nobody take it? It's yours. It's meant for you. And as soon as you understand that, you stop working out of victim mode. You stop working out of a place of anxiety. You stop working out of a place of stress and struggle. You start thriving because you know what's yours is yours. When you build those skills, when you build those connections, when you take that time to build yourself up, nothing can rock you. And even if it does, you come right back faster and faster with everything that happens in your life. I appreciate the struggles that I've been through, especially recently. I had the chance to actually observe people that I've known my whole life and understand that though I love them, I'm not like them. And that's okay. Those of us that are meant to do more with our lives, which is a majority of us, but those of us that actually choose to take on our path, the ones that have been designed specifically for us, end up feeling like we're alone at some point. We're not alone. We just have to find the same people with the same type of mentality that we've achieved over these past few years. Everybody's going to make it to the top, but everybody's path is going to be different, because if everybody's path was designed the exact same way, certain things wouldn't even exist within this world that we live in. So I say again, shush up and listen, damn it. There's too much stuff going around us at all times that we allow to become distractions, which are just slowing us down from achieving the things we need to achieve in order to impact the people that are waiting for us to step into our badassery so that they can. So the sooner we get over needing validation, the faster we progress and grow into the people we need to be to win, whatever winning looks like to us. And again, I say, when you're building, build in silence. It's none of their business what you're truly up to. Because if it was, they'd be helping you build too. And this is why it's important to disconnect from the people and things that are not serving you. And you need to acknowledge who is simply in your life, seeing when they can get opportunity to ride your coattails or take advantage of something they haven't helped build. So that's what I mean by shush up and listen, damn it. Ain't nothing wrong with it, y'all. And that's Piece by Piece with the Disconnected. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Yes! Terry, if you don't stop muting yourself, me and you gonna fight.
My bad. I was laughing doing your thing, and I was like, oh, shoot. Okay, now here you go. Can you hear it now? I was going to go get the clapper, but I didn't have time. When you said that part about, you know how people say, I can't believe, and how many times have like a friend or relative or anyone said that, and they say they can't believe, you like,
I don't know why. All the necessary information was there. It was right there in your face. I had to be, y'all. My husband is absolutely amazing. And again, in case y'all don't know, happy birthday, Mr. Johnson. His birthday was on Tuesday, so we celebrated his birthday this weekend. He's had a little bit of a rough week, y'all. Things are a little bit all over the place right now for him. But it's coming to a head, and regardless of what goes on with the rest of this week, it's Good Friday. We about to have a 3-day weekend. He gonna eat good. He gonna get his feet rubbed. He just gonna be happy this weekend. So happy birthday.
I just want to get my feet rubbed. I ain't trying to, do that crazy. But gotta get my
Yes.
I think y'all grown.
Oh, I'm grown. What you mean?
Woo, Lordy.
Yes, Angelique, we gotta have that good tribe. And your good tribe doesn't have to look one way either. Y'all, how many of you have heard the word mastermind?
Oh, yeah.
How many of you have heard paid mastermind?
Yep.
How much we paying, y'all? How much we paying? Because this right here, what you're witnessing, is a mastermind. Oh, yeah. It doesn't always involve a bunch of freaking people that have had lots of money for a long time that have just decided, like, I want to learn how to turn this into my passion.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what a mastermind has to be made by or made of. A mastermind is simply a bunch of people coming together to support each other in our various journeys to our levels of success that we are supposed to achieve in life. That's all it is. It doesn't have to look one way. It doesn't have to be one way. It's just like when you're watching certain movies. When you're watching certain movies and entertainers, you'll notice that the same actors and actresses are in the movies with each other all the time. Look at an Adam Sandler movie. I was just talking about this the other day. Look at an Adam Sandler movie. Look at a Tyler Perry movie. Mm-hmm. That's a mastermind. Mm-hmm. The only thing y'all gotta have in common, the true pursuit of success. That's the only thing we need to have in common. That is it. Mm-hmm. That's it. So I don't know how I even ended up on that tangent, but it's something important to me because I'm tired of all these fake ass gurus saying I know the true way to get. No, there is no one way to do anything. Stop pigeonholing people into systems that won't work for them and then charging them out the ass for it.
Wow.
Now, on to this. Because one of the things that we were talking about earlier is that mindset shift. Mm-hmm. Without that mindset shift, you're not going to get to where you need to go or want to go. Mm-hmm. So what I say to you is, this is the book, No Time Like the Present, written by Mr. Prynce Michael. Now, this book is only, 77 pages.
77 pages.
77. If you don't have time for 77 pages, you don't want to change your effing life. Mm-hmm. Sit down and be quiet and let the big kids work, okay? Mm-hmm.
Randy is
But I did that deliberately, though. Because I don't know, Brandy. I don't know if you remember, Brandy, when I was going through everything, trying to get the book out, and I was cutting chapters. This is before I met you, Carrie, but I actually was going through and I was literally, there are like whole chapters that I cut out of the book simply because
I need a second edition because I love what you kept in these pages.
Look, you heard it here first, y'all.
Y'all see it. This is one of those books like Tidra's Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. This is one of those books I make sure I read every 90 days or so, just to refresh myself as to why the hell I put myself through all this, because sometimes I'm like, why? I want to quit.
Thank you.
I want to effing quit. And these books remind me I ain't got no business quitting. People before me have been through much worse than not being liked or being ignored by a bunch of people that claim they won't help but don't want to do shit with the tools, resources, and skills being given to them. Mm-hmm. I know a young lady that will be a multimillionaire inside of the next 24 months. And people are like, you don't know who that is. I want that. what I don't want to do what's necessary to get that.
People are lazy.
So I don't actually want that.
Mm-hmm.
Just say that. It's okay. It's okay. Eventually, you will get to a point that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we heard many times by people like Darren Kidd and Nerium. You're going to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're going to change something. My sick and tired, my day of disgust, so to speak, was that car accident. Prynce's was living out of his car that he had to sell for $300.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, I don't know what yours was, but you had one because you're right here with us.
I've had many.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've all had many.
So hold on 1 second. So if anybody can tell me what was the name of the book that I just wrote, I'm going to give you a new copy of my newest book for free. If somebody can drop it down in the comments.
Well,
I almost
I know y'all weren't expecting me to do that because I didn't even run that by y'all. I hope that's okay.
No, that's fine.
Okay, because that's the reason why we like to bring them.
Yeah, so I want to see if anybody can remember the name of the title because I'm going to send them a copy of my newest book, which is called I Am a Flight Attendant, and that is my teacher. Okay, so teacher, I'm going to send you a copy of my newest book. So inbox me your PO box information, and then I'm going to send it to you. Don't expect it today. You will have to wait until probably sometime tomorrow or the day after, because I'm in Milwaukee at the moment. I don't get back to Georgia until tomorrow, and then I'm not going to feel like going to the post office. So anyway, yes.
Expect it. That's it. Just leave it there. Expect it.
That's all right. That's all right. Teacher, don't need enough time to read it anyway. She's busy setting her foundation on taking over the world. So
look, I got to be real. I don't know how to be. I don't know how to be anybody else except me, and I just got to be real. But no, I think the reason that a lot of times, especially when you deal with people that say they want to do things, and I'm sorry, before I even jump into that, Brandy, your piece by piece was fabulous.
Yes,
absolutely fabulous. So yes, because we've had plenty of conversations when you well, I can't say that on here, but shut up. I'll just say it nicely. Shut up. So
shut your ass up.
That part. So, we've had plenty of those conversations because I was one of those people that loved to tell everything that I was doing. And it's you can't do that. But I also think that a lot of it is because sometimes people are lazy. And because people are lazy, it forces them to not do anything. Some people are more content with being where they are than being uncomfortable for just a little bit to make a change in their life. And if you are okay and you're content with where you are, then you're never going to be able to get to where you have to go. Because where you are, if it does not bother you and you don't see an issue with it, you don't see a problem with it, you're not going to get anywhere else because you don't see a problem with it. You're not going to want to change it.
Right.
But I will say something before we went on break. I was telling you that I no longer chase my passion. And the reason that I don't chase my passion anymore, because even in the book, God didn't talk about nothing about passion. It was your talent, your gift. He ain't talking about nothing about no passion. And one thing that I had to learn is I have to walk in my lane. We often tell people, stay in your lane. My nephew love to tell me that. He's 9 years old. Okay. And then as soon as he said, it's boy, ooh, if I could just rip your soul out you real quick. Anyway.
I'm kidding. Here you go. You can have it.
You have to remember.
I'm just playing. Here you go.
You have to remember these kids. They have to get saved. But anyway, so.
But first they have to be put in danger.
Spare the rod, honey, and I got a whole lot of rod, baby. Okay. So, but anyway, so I had to learn that you have to learn how to stay in your lane. Whatever whatever you can do effortlessly. I mean, just effortlessly. Then that's where you need to do. That's where you need to be at. I love to talk. That's one of my favorite things to do. I love to talk. I don't know if y'all can tell. I love to talk. I love
to talk.
When I was in school, I used to get in trouble for it because they're just Miss Green,
Me too.
Prynce is such a great student. He just talked too much. And I'm like, now I got people hiring me to speak at events and stuff to go to do what? Talk. You know, let me tell you something. Had I known this back when I was in college that I could get paid to go talk, baby, I don't even think I would have went to college. I'm just saying. But anyway, I learned that I always say, one of my superpowers is networking with people. One of my favorite things to do is network. One of my favorite things to do is to connect with people. One of my favorite things to do is talk. So, which is the reason that I found that like a few years ago, I was supposed to have a TV show called The Chat. And that didn't happen because whatever, it didn't happen.
It wasn't supposed to happen yet.
No, see, the TV show wasn't supposed to happen at that time. And I said, okay, because it would have just been myself. And then my platform would have been completely different. It would have been boring. I'm just going to be real. Okay. However, I went to this conference. I ended up meeting these awesome individuals, Regina, Tokyo, and Ebony, and we share nothing. We don't agree on nothing. And so we were having this conversation because we see the world completely different, but we see the world based on the circumstances that we've been through. And I said, you know what? Hey guys, I believe that you all are supposed to be my co-hosts for my show. So we created this podcast called The Chat, and they are my co-hosts, Tokyo, Ebony, and Regina. And when I tell you, we have to make sure that we're civilized when we get on the camera and we start talking, because baby, backstage when we're on these calls, no, that is the dumbest thing I think I have ever heard. Are you serious? No, we're not going to. And it's like, no, it's like you have to. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the next episode of The Chat. You know,
that's great.
But you know what? But I'm so excited about that because I feel that it's one of those shows that it's what America is missing. It's the conversation that everyone has been wanting to have, but didn't know who the heck to have it with. We have 4 different perspectives because the show is all about a different perspective. Sean Acor, the author of Before Happiness, stated that the more perspectives that you gain, the more successful you'll become. Sean, I keep giving you all these shout outs. I need to have some stock in your merchandise. I'm just saying. But anyway, so when he made that comment, after I read it, I met him in person and everything. And I was just like, wow, that's so true. And in America, we run on an algorithm. My algorithm is completely different from the two of you. So what happens is if someone comes to challenge my algorithm, I automatically get offended. I automatically get defensive because it's like, oh my gosh, you don't agree with me. But that's what makes healthy conversation. That's what makes whole people. Kind of like when people say, oh, I don't believe that you need to discuss politics and religion. No, how are you supposed to educate your youth if you don't discuss it?
Right.
So you have to learn how to have these conversations with people without being offended and without being disrespectful, because that is the only way that we can push the agenda of, hey, you need to go and vote more than just in the presidential election. Do you not realize that your local elections are a little bit more important sometimes than the presidential elections?
You gotta say that.
Yeah, anyway.
We ain't doing it. That's a whole nother conversation, Prynce. That's a round two. That's a round two.
But that's what the show is all about.
We are closing in on the end of tonight's show. So, Prynce, where can people find you? Where can people connect with you and follow you and just get some more of your wonderful light, sir?
Okay, so in order for people to follow me, they do have to pay the $10,000 entry fee to follow my social media pages. You can follow me on Instagram. It's I am Prynce Michael. You can follow me on my Facebook page, which is Prynce Michael. You can follow me on my business Facebook page. I am Prynce Michael. You can follow me on you can follow The Chat. You can follow LinkedIn, which is Prynce Michael. All of my stuff is Prynce Michael, Prynce, and then Michael, Michael. I pronounce it that way because of my little cousin, Catherine. Catherine started pronouncing it Michael, and I just ran with it. So when I make it, girl, I got you, honey. I'm gonna make sure I give you like $200 or $300, girl. Okay.
Listen, I got a quick question. Quick questions for the chat. Now, where you look up just follow the chat on Instagram?
So we don't have Instagram. We have it's on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, all the podcasts, doohickeys, and it's also on Facebook. We created, well, actually, no, yeah, we created a Twitter, but this will be our third episode that we're doing. So we are still trying to get all that stuff situated. As Brandy know, I am not the tech person. I just know how to connect people and run my mouth. All of this techie stuff, baby, I barely know how to run Instagram. Okay.
Yes.
So
where can we find the chat on Facebook, sir?
It's actually the chat, like the and then chat, but it's TH3 and then chat. So that's the @ name for it. Yeah, TH3 and then chat. Yeah.
Perfect. Ooh, perfect.
All right. I just happened to catch the first couple of episodes. Actually, the first episode, I was fussing at you. You're like, I'm not techie. I don't know what's going on. I don't care. You know who to call, damn it.
But you know what? But you have to remember, Brandy, I have to also expand my network outside of you as well. How am I supposed to help you grow if I don't expand my network outside of you?
You got about another 45 days that I'm even will be available for you to ask me.
But no, honestly, you're still doing my website that I still haven't sent you photos for, and
or anything. Claim you ain't seen. I'll put your blast. On blast.
No, I will. My website is coming, guys. So I have this thing about not necessarily perfection, but I have the way that I want something to be. There's a standard that I want it to be at. And all of my photos, I'm like, nope, don't like those. Nope, don't like that.
It doesn't mean I still can't get your layout and copy and everything done while you figure out when you're going to take some new headshots. Get your life together.
You see the fake smile, right? You ain't got to do all that on camera, though. You ain't had to do that in front of national television. You ain't had to put me. You ain't got to put me out in front of national television.
This is what our kind of accountability looks like. So y'all, we want to thank you so much for tuning in this fine.
Thank you, Regina. I appreciate it.
And Prynce, thank you so much for sharing some time with us and making us laugh and just bringing them gems with you. I had an absolutely fantastic time. And of course, you're welcome back anytime, Brother King. Reach out. We would absolutely love to have you and the ladies up chat all present so we can have our own conflicting conversation.
Awesome.
The 2 ladies and 2 gentlemen.
Oh, okay. 2 and 2. I like it. I like it.
Yes, I'm the most. But of course, I'm the most beautiful man you'll ever meet.
I love it.
Okay, I can All right, you guys. So we have reached the end of tonight's show, but I'm going to be dropping a link directly to the chat, so you guys can just click it and get on over there, like and follow it, and do the dang thing. So with that, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We will see you next week, and we have Raymond Wright in the house next week. If you have any idea who Raymond Wright is, you are in for a freaking treat. So with that, good night, y'all. Mwah.